Hey guys, so this is the new Mac Mini M4 Pro. So yeah, notice right next to it, I have an older Mac Mini, and I just wanted to put these side by side just so you could see the difference in the form factor. So this one over here this has an i5 in it. This is one of the first ones I bought. I bought it used off of eBay many years ago. And yeah, it's pretty ancient. Now they've used the same form factor for many years for many different models, including the newer, including the newer Apple Silicon models. So they have old ones and newer ones that look like this, but the latest model is in this form factor. So they switched it up for the M4 and M4 Pro. So notice this is the length and width are much shorter, fits a smaller footprint on your desk. But you'll notice it is slightly taller. So just to give some perspective here, because of the camera angle, it's like that tall versus, yeah, it's not a big difference, but it is taller. So you won't be able to fit it into, if you wanted to fit this into some tight spot or something, I don't know. Any case, yeah, this one looks more like a mini Mac Studio than a Mac Mini. In any case, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. This actually, this is more of a replacement for my MacBook Pro, which I'm still using when I want to be on the move and stuff. So I had an old MacBook Pro. This is even older than my old MacBook Pro. But this is giving me the speed I need for video editing and all the other things that I want. I'm pretty happy with this, but I'm going to show you some of the ports on this and some of the features of it, stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to get into too much depth in terms of like, how much RAM to get or which storage options to pick, because I actually just published a video with all those details, like a really detailed video with a spreadsheet covering all of that stuff. So go check that video out if you want the details and help choosing which M4 Mac Mini to buy. So go check that video out if you're interested in that. In this video, I'm just going to show you a little bit about the Mac Mini that I bought and some of the things I have connected to it, why I have them connected, and I wanted to illustrate the difference between the old form factor and the new one. I thought that would be kind of neat. So yeah, so this guy, I maxed this out. I got the M4 Pro, all the cores, everything you could possibly get. Maxed it out with everything except for storage, because I'm not going to be carrying this around with me. I'm just going to leave it on my desk right here. So I can just attach external drives to it completely fine. And I'm getting basically the same performance I would. I know it's the internal drives are a lot faster, and even the external drives that I got are not the fastest you could get, but they're way more than fast enough for any video editing or anything else that I'm doing. Now I have two drives. This one I'm gonna have to move this to the back soon, but yeah, this one has APFS on it. This is what I'm going to be using to store all my videos on. This drive back here. Different color, but it's the same drive, another SanDisk drive. It's an SSD. It has, I have it plugged into the back. It has exFAT on it, and I have it so I can transfer between a PC and this Mac. Now, right now I have a bunch of files on this, but for really working storage, I'm going to transfer them onto here because they should be on APFS, and this is going to be used just to transfer things between my PC and my Mac. Now, it has two USB-C ports in the front, and it has 3 Thunderbolt 5 ports in the back, which are the USB-C connector, but it's Thunderbolt 5, so it's a lot faster. So the connectors in the back are a lot faster. The connectors in the front are still fast, but they're nowhere near as fast as the ones in the back. So realistically, if I have a drive, I should have it connected in the back, not in the front. Now, if you really wanted the fastest drives you can get, you should really get an NVMe enclosure. You can get one that's Thunderbolt 4. It'll be totally fine. If you have the M4 Pro, you could benefit from a Thunderbolt 5 one if you really want the absolute fastest speeds. I'm going to put some links in the descriptions for those, so check that out if you're interested. And I'll also put some links in the description for these drives too. These ones have been working great for me. I use them on my MacBook. They're a little bit of a pain on my MacBook because, if you want to move around from room to room with these hanging off of your MacBook, it's a bit of a pain. With a Mac Mini, no big deal. I'm going to actually move this to the back. Now, notice I have this silly dongle, or whatever you would call this, USB hub. Has a bunch of things, power, USB-C, some HDMI, stuff like that. I mostly don't use any of that. This is just a quick thing. I used to use this with one of my MacBooks This is just a quick thing so that I could plug this USB stick in here just to transfer some files real quick. Just a quick one-off thing. So this is not something I regularly use with this Mac. I just quick plugged it in because this does not have any USB-A ports. So I'm going to point out some of the ports on here, what I have connected. So yeah, headphone jack right here. So I'm using some Audio-Technica headphones over here at the moment. And yeah, so headphone jack, you get 2 USB-C ports. And if we come around to the back here, here's the power, here's Ethernet. Now, this is a gigabit connection, but I'm going to upgrade my network to 10 gig. Now, I did go with the 10 gig option on this Mac, so it can support 10 gig. So once I upgrade my network, I'm going to upgrade the Ethernet to 10 gig. This does have Wi-Fi on it, and I used that initially to get it set up, but I turned it off just so I could keep it on Ethernet just for faster speeds and to be on the same subnet as my NAS. I'm just going to pan over here real quick. Maybe I should not have this in the same video. This is my NAS that has many terabytes of storage where I actually store all my files, because there's no way they would all fit on, you know, any of the external or internal drives on this Mac Mini. I have so much data that I need a NAS no matter what. That's the ultimate storage solution for bulk storage. So really, these attached drives, these attached drives are just working storage for the videos I'm working on or anything that I'm working on the Mac itself. And you know, just for current work that I'm working on. So you'll see here in the back you got your 3 Thunderbolt ports, HDMI, Ethernet, and power, right? So they're all in use now. So I feel like they could have given us a few more. Like they could have given me a couple more Thunderbolt ports and maybe a couple USB-A ports. That would have been nice. Now a lot of people are going to go with a wireless Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. I did not, so I'm kind of thinking about doing that to free up some ports. But and I'll show you what's connected to these. But for now, one of these ports, now this is one of the faster ports. I should probably have this plugged into the front, but it would look kind of messy. But I have this hub right here, and I actually kind of need this no matter what, even if I got something wireless. Because one of these is the keyboard, one of these is the mouse, and one of these is my macro pad, which is kind of different from most people's use case. So you'll notice over here, you know, cheap gaming mouse that works really well, mechanical keyboard, and a macro pad that gives me tons of awesome shortcuts. Done some videos on this, but yeah, this is incredibly useful, and I like having this plugged in too. So I can't get a really Bluetooth or wireless version of that, so it looks like I'm probably sticking with having this, all 3 of these plugged into here for now, and they're using up a port here, unfortunately. Now, one of these goes to this drive here, so I have one going to that drive, one going to you know, my keyboard, mouse, and macro pad, and then this red one actually goes all the way back around to this Blue Yeti mic, which is pretty excellent. This has served me very well and given me excellent audio. It's not what I'm doing now. Right now I'm recording off of my phone, but yeah, this is great for when I record things on my desktop and stuff. So yeah, I have my mic plugged in, so really quickly the ports get eaten up faster than you would think. So you know, I have my microphone, I have one drive, and then I have keyboard and mouse and stuff, right? So that's 3 ports eaten up already. And then if I want to have 2 drives, I have to start plugging them in the front. I should probably put the microphone in the front and this drive in the back. And this one's just temporarily, so I won't have to always have this plugged in. But this does result, now a lot of people like this in the front, and it is convenient, especially having the headphone jack in the front. It's convenient having them in the front, but it's not. If you want to leave things plugged in a long time, it is kind of a pain to always have to have stuff, you know, have a bunch of messy stuff in the front. So it's a positive and a negative. I would like to have my options open and have the ports in the front, but also just have more ports in the back. So kind of having both would be an ideal solution, but that's not how this is. So yeah, there's that. Well, let's see what else we can show you about the form factor and stuff. This is plugged in and working right now. It's kind of in an awkward situation. And I have it underneath this Samsung monitor here. But I'm going to see if I can turn this over and show you the power button. See, right there, underneath on the corner, there is the power button. So that's one of the controversial things for this Mac Mini. So a lot of people don't like the placement. People complain about it. And for some people, it's a real issue. Some people want to slide this into like a tight spot or something, or stack these up for a cluster, whatever your use case is. But a lot of people like to complain about that. Some people have a legitimate cause to complain about it. It does cause a problem for some people who are really sticking it in a tight space. For most people, it's really not a big deal. You can kind of just lift it up and push the button underneath. You can't really fit your fingers underneath, but you just lift it up slightly, tap the button if you need to. I've had this a few weeks and I have yet to actually touch the power button except to initially turn this on. So I haven't, most people don't use the power button, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal if you do need to push it, and most people don't push it. I think an official response from Apple was they put that on the bottom because they wanted to have more space for I/O. To be honest though, I think they could have given us more I/O ports. This is still pretty good, but they really could have given us more I/O ports. But that was the reason, I guess. They wanted more space to pack in as much I/O as you can. And to be fair, the old Mac Mini was a lot bigger, so it was easier to get more I/O. But yeah, you can always use more I/O. Anytime I'm like browsing Asus motherboards or something like that, you see tons and tons of ports, and I kind of feel jealous of those. I mean, I do have one on my, like my PC has a ton more ports than this, so that is one thing to consider, but yeah, it's still pretty good. I just hate having dongles and not having enough ports where I need them. But yeah, the button on the bottom is not a big deal for almost everyone. Mostly people don't push it, and it's easy to push if you need to. So no big deal there. It's just a quick thing that seems ridiculous when you think about it, and it's a quick thing for people to complain about, something for people to talk about, something for people to write about when they're doing reviews. It's just something that people can point out to get people talking. That's it. Most people who mention it are just trying to talk about one of the notable things about the new Mac Mini. That's all they're doing. A few people have a legitimate concern when they're trying to fit it into a tight spot or something. Other than that, this thing has been pretty fast. Now, mine was not the base model. This is like this one is, maxed out except for storage. So this is 2,300 before tax, and yeah, totally worth it. It's really fast. Basically meets all my needs and does everything really quickly. It's just pretty terrific. But if you want the base model, that starts at 600, and it's going to be 500 with the education discount. And some places are like Costco almost sells it for a little over 500, and I think Micro Center was having a deep big sale recently. But you can get this for pretty cheap if you get the base model. Super affordable, low power. It doesn't use a lot of power, but it's a powerful machine that you can get for pretty cheap, nice and small. So it's a real good deal. And what people are saying is the base model will basically handle anything you can throw at it. So you can, it might be a little light on storage space, so you'll need your external drives or upgrade the internal storage. But yeah, the base model, in terms of video editing, rendering, anything you might want to do with it, it can handle anything people can throw at it from the people who have tested it. I haven't tested the base model. I got a maxed out model. So, not speaking from experience when I say the base model can handle anything, but, the base model is definitely good enough for your, daily use, like spreadsheets and checking email and browsing the web. But as far as like actually, doing real work like video editing, 3D rendering, that kind of stuff, the base model should be able to handle mostly anything you can throw at it, for the most part. But anyways, yeah, that's what I wanted to cover. I don't want to get too deep into like the difference between the models and the options. I did a whole video on that. Go check that video out if you like. But yeah, just wanted to show what I got, talk about my thoughts about it, show you the ports on it, stuff like that. And that's about it. I have not opened this thing up yet, and I'm not planning to open it up or upgrade it or dig inside it anytime super soon. I'm using this for production, and it's kind of a tight space in there, and I just don't want to mess with it for the time being. I know that's kind of what I do on this channel, is I open things up and take them apart, but I'm not doing that with this thing anytime super soon. I might do it at some point. I'll probably do it at some point in the future, but right now I'm not doing it. I know technically the storage in this is actually upgradable. The RAM is not what the storage is, but you have to like remove the drive. It's a non-standard drive. And you can open up the whole thing, take out a bunch of pieces, and finally get to the drive, pull the drive out, and from there you actually have to remove one of the chips on it. They're like ball solder joints, so you have to heat it up, remove that chip, and put a new chip that you took from a different drive or that you got from one place or another and solder that onto there. So it involves soldering, but it's upgradable. So if you call that upgradable, or eventually maybe they'll come with drives so you don't have to do any soldering and you can just swap it out. It is swappable if you happen to have a drive that's larger. Any case, there's that. Yeah, so right now 2 drives hooked up to this. I'm going to probably go with the 2 external drive configuration. And yeah, look at that. So old and new. So this one's been sitting in my closet for a long time. I've been actually meaning to. I have done a couple videos where I've disassembled this thing and cleaned it up and taken it apart and stuff. I've done the same with an even older Mac Mini. So go check those out if you're interested in them. And yeah, I have been meaning to open this one up, clean it up. I want to redo the thermal paste on the CPU on this. And yeah, because it's having some performance issues, even for something its age. So this one is actually running Linux. On my old Apple stuff, I run Linux. On the new stuff, I run Mac OS, and that tends to be a great way to do things. And that's about all I wanted to talk about for today. So yeah, hopefully you found this interesting, maybe helpful. If you really want helpful content, check out my other video where I talked about which Mac Mini. M4 Mac Mini to buy. But yeah, hopefully you found this interesting. You might want to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my other tech content. We do hardware, software, we do Apple stuff, we do PC stuff, we do coding, 3D printing. Got to dust off my 3D printer over here and do some more 3D printing related content. But yeah, we do a lot of that stuff you don't want to miss out on. We do robots, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on that stuff. And that's about it for today. So thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on that next video.